There you go. There it is. The one, the only Zero Dark Kitty copping her face off.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like doing, as always, 80 million things at once. What time for lunch? I can't even type. What time is it?
Lunchtime.
Yes,
time.
Exactly. They're going to call me Tardy B.
Well, welcome to another fine edition of your XtalkLIVE lunchtime here at X.com. I am the host of XtalkLIVE lunchtime. Of course, Chris Crash Taylor in the big chair for you today. And also, as we have figured out, the one, the only Zero Dark Kitty.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
So welcome to the broadcast today, the Hump Day broadcast, the big. This is week 3 of the Trump administration. We got nothing but more winning today.
It's just crazy. It's just insane. I'm so stoked. I can't even.
I know.
I'm like so stoked.
I can't even either.
I'm more excited for next week.
Ooh, next week.
Yeah.
See, I'm just.
So we've got it confirmed. Bondi's confirmed.
Yes,
RFK.
just moments ago in the White House Oval Office, Pam Bondi was confirmed as the Attorney General of the United States. Yes.
Oh, yes. Shit's about to get real.
It is about to get real, and it's getting real right here.
And now we just need Cash, because what did Cash post today? The thing that radicalized me.
The thing that radicalized you.
Yes. What did Cash post today?
Cash
posted.
You'll have to refresh me.
Cash posted to Hillary Clinton that we haven't forgotten about Benghazi.
Right. Yeah.
And we're coming for you, bitch. We are coming.
We're coming in for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I got
No?
Ilan on this show. I got a lot of things, so yeah.
Just forget about it.
You won't be able to keep up with the beep button, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. It's just one of those things. You hold it in and you hold it in.
Yeah.
And you're as diplomatic as you can possibly be.
Yeah.
Until you just can't anymore.
Right.
I'm at the can't now, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's another beautiful day. 70 degrees here, Charlotte, North Carolina. Beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Not quite air conditioner weather yet, but tomorrow I hear it's going to be even hotter. So.
Puxatawny Phil is on crack.
He is kind of on crack because did we even talk about that? Oh, Sunday was Groundhog Day. Never mind. We didn't have a show.
That's right.
But I was going to say, nobody even mentioned that.
No.
Yeah.
I
but
know.
he said 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah.
So.
What a maroon.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's DEI, Phil.
It is DEI,
Must
Phil.
be.
It's got to be.
Because he's wrong.
There's no way that's the same groundhog from 100 years ago.
No. No, it is not. And down here, winter only ever lasts 6 weeks max. So.
If you're lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember we moved down here. When we moved down here almost a decade ago now, It was March. And from up north, New York, and the snow was starting to melt there. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It'll be a nice temperate time to move,
Yeah.
Yeah. And we get down here, and it was freezing the first day I got down here. And
Right.
We're all freezing, trying to get into the hotel. And once we arrived here, it was nighttime. It was freezing.
Yeah.
So the next morning, we get up. We don't know any better. And we bundle up, and we go outside. And within an hour of arriving at breakfast, it was like 85 degrees.
Yeah.
And that was our indoctrination to life in the Carolinas. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, today, rolling up a little bit different here. We're back with the fail army again. This is the top 100 all-time fails. I guess they went through like 30 some odd fails in the last 2 minutes before we were just rolling in here, but they're already down to 63. But you'll enjoy that today. That's always full of fun.
Right.
And, of course, we got the Browsertron 5000 warmed up. We got all our stories, everything we're going to be covering today. So that's going to be big.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. No, I got a great lineup today. I actually knew what I wanted to talk about hours ago today.
Excellent.
Yes.
All
For
right.
a change. Yeah.
Well, then we should get to it. The folks looking for the Fail Army there, it's up in the top right of your screen now.
Yes.
I guess we will,
Let's roll it.
Go ahead and get on over to the Browsertron 5000 there. And what is the first item up for bids today? Boom, let's get to it. From Congressman Brandon Gill. Says America would be a better place if Ilhan Omar were deported back to Somalia.
Yes.
Now, Greg Price tweets, Ilhan Omar is now hosting workshops for Somalians living in the country illegally to advise them on how to avoid being deported. Check us out.
xildhibaanad Ilhaan Cumar oo dhowaan la hadashay saxaafadda ayaa talo bixin siisay dadka sharciga aan haysan ee ku nool dalkan.
waxaan ula talinayaa dadka Soomaalida ah haddii ay maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg ice ay isku dayaan inay ku su'aalaan muku qasban tihid inaad su'aalahooda aad ka jawaabtid waxaad dhihi kartaa lawyer aan i advice garay inaanan ku jawaabin qasab ma aha magacaaga iyo sharciga ku joogtid iyo waxaas oo dhan iisaa ku imaataybo inaad kala hadashid marka baro sharciyada
I can't even listen to that crap. I just can't. God help us all. Jesus Christ. So,
where did the nice interview go from CNN? That's what I was looking for.
I don't know. It's just, I just wanted to see her face to get more mad.
Okay, well.
That's all.
Okay, yeah. It's nice. You've seen her face. You've heard her hakala.
As everyone who knows me knows, her and Tlaib are like top of my hit list. They're the top two scumbag traitors I want to see drag kicking and screaming to the platform as soon as possible.
Really?
I don't think deporting her is good enough. She is a Qatari spy. She has come in here under the guise of being an American citizen, making herself an American citizen. So that makes her a traitor, any harm she's done to this country, right?
Yeah.
So that should be the starting point. We should start from treason. Like, I don't give a crap that she slept with her brother and did immigration fraud.
Right.
She's a traitor. I'm not aware how it's going to work or who's going to do it, but it better get done. It better get done soon. And now you have other representatives calling for her ouster, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see. And again, it's really hard. If anybody thought running a country was easy, it's not, because not everybody thinks like you. So we talk about this often on the show, that there's a lot of patriots out there who are still like, put them in jail. We don't jail traitors. We hang traitors. So we're not doing that. But you still have that massive segment of the populace that wants to see them punished, but can't go far enough to ensure it never happens again.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. I've never understood that. Right? So to try and please all the people in this way is going to be difficult. So we should err on the side of most severe. If we're going to err at all, it should be in that direction. Because I don't know about you, but have you looked at the last couple generations that we've spit out here?
Yes.
They cannot do this 25 years from now without us.
No, you're absolutely correct.
This is it or never. That's it. If we don't fix this now and ensure it never happens again, our kids are food.
Well, and that's kind of the other thing that, a lot of the MAGA camp out there, I'm hearing from them, well, Trump's elected, it's all over, we won.
Oh, God, no, it's just beginning.
So they're like, getting all complacent now and just going on their socials every day and just laughing at the left and everything else. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, you haven't won. We've taken a step forward finally for the first time in ever.
Right.
Right.
Yes. This is the most dangerous time right now.
Yeah.
Because they're in the corner where the most dangerous animals don't like to be.
Exactly.
So we're not completely out of the woods yet. Yes, we're winning. Yes, we've completely neutered them. And with the decimation of USAID, we've pulled all of their resources. They're boned moving forward. They can never again do the stuff that they've been doing. Because now we know.
So do you think they're like on the phone to Nancy and Chuck trying to get a loan for?
This is the thing, and that's why they're all screeching so much, because the things that this leads to makes World War II look like a picnic.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and just to be clear too, now with the dissolving of U.S. aid, that money is frozen or now.
I have no idea.
Recouped or
I clueless. I don't know. If I know Trump, he's getting it back. Right. Just like we talked about yesterday with Ukraine, and everybody used to think I was crazy. And 2 years ago, I started posting to Zelensky that we are going to get every penny back one way or another.
Yes, you did.
And everybody thought I was crazy. And yesterday, Trump said, in exchange for all the aid we've given you, we want mineral rights and other things.
That's one way or another.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because you have to do these things. These are common sense things that I find it difficult to understand why other people don't think of these things.
Right.
Like it's what I would do if I were Trump, right? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Your job is to secure this country, not just for now, but forever. And you have to see those lines through to the end of how that's going to be accomplished.
Yeah.
And just today with the news about Gaza, which we're going to talk about soon, people aren't getting it. They're completely still not getting it. They're thinking Trump is caving to the Jews and blah, blah, blah. They're not getting it in any way. But we'll get there.
Well, okay. And I was kind of thinking before the show here, we were talking about that in specific. And I was kind of like, well, geez, I mean, granted, there's not millions of people tuning in today, but wouldn't you want to keep that stuff under the hat or no?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not like they listen to me. Wink, wink. No, I mean, if they've put it out there, they're fully aware I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
But again, most people that I say the stuff that I say to say I'm crazy.
Right.
Because they can't see it. And then they go home and they think about it. And then other stuff happens that starts to corroborate it. And then they're like, oh.
And then they come back and follow you.
Right.
And now you're up to, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who got me to 50,000 today, finally.
50,000.
Yeah, thank you.
That's like...
I didn't think it was ever going to happen either. I was hovering at 49.8 for about a month. I was like, what is going on here?
Just looking at my profile, that means there's 49,000 poor souls out there that still don't know who Crash is.
That's true. That is true. We're going to have to remedy that. Yes, we'll have to remedy that.
No, I don't really care. I really don't care. It's fine. Okay, so
yeah, you'll start seeing that moving forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either one of, we'll talk about it when we get to Gaza, but let's get back to Ilan, right? So, yeah, I mean, if Trump is listening, if the team is listening, just please enlist me in that detail for when the time comes to pull the lever, do whatever, I've wanted nothing in return for the last 8 years, every single day being here fighting to save my country. But that would be sweet.
Yeah.
I will take that.
Yeah, 100%. And not have a problem sleeping.
Nope.
Sorry.
No,
nope.
Not at all.
Not at all. Well, moving on today, we got a big one. Boom. Concerned citizen posts today. Meanwhile, in Brussels, Belgium, it's reported that migrant gangs started firing AK-47s outside the Grand Palace station. Brussels is the EU capital. Something has gone terribly wrong in Europe. Let's take a look at that clip. Yeah, look at and they're just running around like they're filming True Lies.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So we had the shooting at the adult school in Sweden yesterday. Do we have any line on who the shooter was yesterday? Did anybody ever still find out?
I have seen or heard nothing.
I will
about
look
that.
it up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing.
And now in Belgium, they're just running around with their, yeah, like you said, like they're filming an action movie. They don't even care.
Well, I mean, you stop and think about it, though, right?
Yeah.
You get the all expenses paid invitation vacation into, your enemy's, sworn enemy's home. And then you go in there and then, they're paying you to eat and they're paying to clothe you and they're paying to entertain you. And in some cases, I'm sure they are paying for you to get drugs and guns, and the list goes on. And then you get more and more complacent and easygoing, and you start escalating your stuff, and you start doing a little gang rape,
Right.
Get out there on a Friday night, get a little gang rape in. If you look kind of across the board at Western nations all around the world, just in the last 6 months, you can see a progression. There's individual violence, and then there's group gang violence against individuals,
Right.
mostly white.
Yeah.
And then the rape gangs, and then the large protests about, we should be in your government, and we need to have rights for Muslim this and Muslim that. It's gone up and up and up, and all these countries are caving. Look at England, for God's sake, and Ireland. They've got Muslim leaders in everything from their city council right on up.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I'm checking it out now and I'm reading about this shooting in Sweden yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly it was a 35-year-old former student. They called him a Swedish man who was homeless. So, and the Muslim police chief of Örebro was the one saying these things.
Okay.
So, or Örebro, whatever the hell. I can't speak Swedish. I've tried. It's tough. It's so tough. So of course they're going to bury it. The New York Times is like, the shooting was at the heart of a diverse community. Like that's what they're still pushing this crap.
Yeah.
Not for much longer, but they're still pushing this crap. The king and queen went and laid flowers there today because I guess they're ahead of us or whatever. And they still won't name the shooter, except to say he was a 35-year-old homeless former student. Swedish man. A Swedish man. How much you want to bet he's not blonde?
He's probably a Swedish man that was displaced by the Muslims.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, now look at what we're looking at. Now they're in the streets with AKs now.
And the guy from yesterday has killed all of the students in there. So it's his own. If it is one of the refugees, then he's killing his own for whatever reason.
Well, I don't really think they're discriminating, really.
They never did they?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They used to only kill each other until somebody brought the bright idea to bring them here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, just by the fact that, the name and face isn't out there, of course,
Right.
he's not a glowing
Of course.
Swedish guy with a little
Right.
Thule on his Volvo.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's not Lars.
Right. It's not Lars. But I wanted to bring the Brussels thing up because this is we learned yesterday because of the shooting that every day in Sweden there's a bombing, there's a shooting, there's a terrorist attack, there's rape gangs everywhere.
And we learned that from their own president.
That's right. The prime minister of Sweden
Yes.
said that the country's out of control. Its own prime minister.
Yeah.
And
no
now-
disinformation there.
Right. And now in Brussels, which is the capital of the European Union,
Right.
looks really, really bad for them. And they need to get their act together. And the longer they hold on to this diversity thing, that's going to die. And they are all going to go back eventually. I promise you, because that's the goal. Trump is not going to abandon Europe. It would be in America's very much disinterest if Europe falls. So that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to take a lot longer than it is here. Because here we're just rounding them up and chipping them back. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the only thing missing from the Brussels video now is, the Ayatollah saying a few words.
Right.
You
I'm
know?
surprised there's not like Gaza protests and stuff there.
Yeah, because it matters too, right?
Yeah, sure. Well, anywhere the cabal's got a hand, you'll find the same crap that goes on here.
Right.
So,
yeah. All right, moving on from Torsten Prochnow.
Right, no relation to Jorgen.
Torsten or Jorgen?
Jorgen Prochnow, das Boot.
Well, Stephen Miller has just laid out the truth about the U.S. aid, one of the most corrupt, unaccountable agencies in the federal government. For decades, this shadowy organization has funneled billions of taxpayer dollars for NGOs, foreign operatives, and political cutouts with zero oversight. It has meddled in elections, funded regime change, and destabilized nations, all under the guise of foreign aid. This is a deep state in action, and it's exactly why President Trump is dismantling it. He goes on here, the left claims that Trump is destroying democracy, but the reality is the exact opposite. U.S. aid has been operating as an unelected, unaccountable power center, pushing radical agendas worldwide, while bureaucrats while undermining national sovereignty. No American voted for U.S. aid. Bureaucrats to play kingmaker in foreign nations or to launder taxpayer money into globalist slush funds. The meltdown from the establishment isn't about protecting democracy. It's about losing control. They fear that Trump and Elon Musk, because both are exposing the web of corruption that has been draining American resources for decades. U.S. aid was never about humanitarian efforts.
No.
It was about power, influence, and control. Now that power structure is being torn down piece by piece. No more unchecked billions for radical causes. No more secret funding for destabilization. Trump is bringing real accountability back to Washington, and the deep state is terrified.
Right on.
Yeah. Now, after getting to all of that, I hope that's not just everything he's going to say here now.
There's probably no entity in the government that is more of an entrenched power center of unelected bureaucrats with less accountability, less oversight than USAID. They funnel money to their cronies all over the world through a swampy network of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and cutouts, including potentially some very troubling elements of focusing on things like regime change and destabilizing foreign countries. But this is not about America's interests. Donald Trump is courageously restoring democracy. Article 2 of the executive branch vests all power by the Constitution. Article 2 of the Constitution vests all power of the executive branch in a president. It's known as the vesting clause. It says the executive power shall be vested in a president, singular, not in the bureaucracy, not in unelected, lifetime tenured career civil servants. Americans voted for one man, Donald J. Trump. They didn't vote for a single bureaucrat at USAID. They voted for Donald Trump to make government accountable to the taxpayer, to make government accountable for them. If the Democrats are saying, as they are, that President Trump cannot implement his agenda at USAID, that Donald Trump cannot fire recalcitrant bureaucrats, what they are saying, what Democrats are saying, is they oppose democracy itself. They oppose the idea that the American people can elect a man, in this case, our President Donald Trump, to reform the government according to the will of the people. This is a battle between the will of the people through their President Donald Trump and the will of an unelected federal bureaucracy. So we and President Trump are on the side of democracy.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Okay, I take it back. I want to pull the lever, and I want to create an office of bitch slapping anybody who calls this a democracy again. We pledge allegiance to the Republic. Damn it.
Yeah.
Enough.
Well, you see, and there you go. They took that out of school, so now all these moronic kids don't even know that.
Well, initially, when Elon said it, and even Trump said it during the campaign, I'm like, okay, they're using their verbiage to kind of draw them in.
Yeah.
Enough. We've won. It's the Republic. And we need to go really hard on making that, to use another of their terms, normalized.
Normalized. Yes. hope the next one's not. Oh, good. It's nowhere near as long. Fletch. Yes, Fletch 17.
Oh, hey, love. Haven't seen you in ages.
At 17, thank you. The U.S. Gaza Strip. I didn't see that one coming. Interesting. Here we go.
Yes.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.
Right on. The MAGA
There you
Strip.
go. The MAGA Strip.
Yes. That is so awesome. And it's brilliant. And it's one of two scenarios.
Okay.
One, we really are doing that. And that's because we understand that in order to get out from under the thumb of the cabal and the originators and stop this for good, we need to watchdog.
Yeah.
So what better to do than be right there doing that? Change can only come from the inside. That's about as inside as we're going to get. So it's that.
Okay.
And yes, we'll create a wonderful economic, entity. And I was saying to you earlier, everybody will be able to go and it'll be as safe as America then, right? It's going to be awesome. Or two, it's a tactic to force the other nations to come up with a better solution. But here's the reality. What is it we always say here in the West? We can't coexist with people that want to kill us. And we're not going to.
Right.
So for both sides, neither of which are good, but for both sides, they're living with people that want to kill each other. The Israelis want to kill the Palestinians want to kill the Israelis. Somebody's got to move. It's like when you have a bad neighbor, you can't stay next to your bad neighbor. Somebody's got to move.
Why would you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a load of crap. It's a load of crap. There's a reason no other Muslim country wants these people.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at it from the strategic perspective. We lost big when we lost Kandahar.
Yeah, but I think we're getting that back too.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be surprised with the way everything's going.
We can't let the Taliban run a country. We just can't do that. It's just like they had their little cosplay party, but now it's time to get back to reality.
Right.
Afghanistan need their own country. The Afghani people need a country too. Right? So.
Yeah, I mean, if you say so.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, this is that can't please all the people all the time thing, and it's really hard to run a country.
Well, the Afghanis, from everything I have seen in the last 20 years, I have not seen any part of them, any individuals, any groups that actually do anything for the betterment of their own country.
Okay, I understand all that. You have to understand some things. That they've lived under regime.
Right.
And threat of death, torture, religious council law, hangings by crane, all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
For most of their lives.
Okay.
And most of the people now in 2025, all of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I always say about Europe? Why they're so much more conditioned than we are? Because they've experienced living under monarchies and things. That's just, they've grown up with a king or a queen that can be off with your head. And these are just things that are expected. It's in their DNA.
Right.
And we don't have that. That's why it falls to us to actually be the beacon of freedom throughout the world, because we're the only ones who've ever really had it. Ever. We were born with it.
Yeah.
So the best thing that we can do for America is to get all these people repatriated back and making their own countries great again, and help them to do that so they stay the hell out of ours. Right?
Yeah.
And what's the number one reason that Europe and the liberals don't want to send Muslims out of the West. It's because we can't send them back to those war-torn shithole countries. So we'll keep them here and let them make our country war-torn and shithole. But that's their rationale.
Right.
So the only solution is to give them a place where they can't complain about going back to. It's like we say with the people that are protesting immigration and flying their own country's Latin American flag here. You're in America. You're protesting being deported from America, flying the country of your national origins flag.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking? Missed the memo much. Yeah.
Oh,
so, right.
Totally.
So, yeah, I mean, I see a longer term strategy for, these strategic placements and these acquisitions that Trump wants for not just long term security of America, but permanent security.
Right.
Like, cannot be changed back once it's gone. The same goes true with getting control again of the Panama Canal.
Absolutely.
These are all strategic things that until we secure these things, we can't say that America is secure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yes.
That totally makes
So
sense.
this isn't Trump caving to the Jews. This isn't, Trump trying to make a buck on they're acting like he wants to build a Trump casino in Gaza and, oh, look, free land. That's not what the point is. That's not what the goal is. There's one goal here, and it's to secure America in perpetuity. That's what the goal is. So before anybody jumps to judgment, keep that in mind and understand that this is the first step towards the end game.
Right.
So,
Right.
I hope we do get control of it.
Interesting.
I really do.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the Gaza take. Anybody else got any comments or questions? The live chat is open. We are monitoring that. So, always keep that in mind.
Yes.
What do I have to say about it? I don't really have anything to say about it because clearly what's going on here, like if you look at all these different elements, like this isn't just the United States we're talking about. We're talking about, the Gulf of America was the lead off. We're talking about Mexico. We're talking about Canada. We're talking about Greenland. We're talking about now Gaza.
Right.
It's like every day that goes by now, it's more and more mind-boggling. It's like, wait a minute, like this. I'm freely open to admit that this is way above my pay grade. I don't know what the hell's going. Okay.
Yep. We're imperialist colonizers.
So I don't know how everybody else here out on social media land comes to these conclusions that I've been reading.
Right.
A lot of these conclusions, and they're all negative.
Sure.
Right? Because nobody can see anything good coming out of there. It needs to be a glass parking lot. Right? So,
which is essentially what he's saying, and then he's taking control of it. So that can't happen again.
But given everything I know about Donald Trump, and this goes way back. This goes back to when he was like 24 years old. I've read his books. The way he is, the way he does, the way he thinks, the way... And clearly in recent years, just in the last 9 years now, the things that he has had people do that the masses would say it would never happen.
Right.
There's no way that would ever happen. And he's done it time and time and time and time again. Like it just keeps going. So you have to sit there as a moron and say, hey, he's got to know something I don't, right?
Yeah, one would think.
Right?
As the leader of the free world, yeah.
So given all of that kind of information and those so many unknowns I don't know, I'm just these days I'm just living the wins.
Right.
Oh, we got Pam Bondi in there, right on. Oh, we got Cash Patel in there, right on. Oh, we got right. I'm just there.
Yeah.
And I'm watching.
Right.
Right. And Cash Patel's tweet today about Hillary Clinton. That's I'm happy.
Yeah, me too.
That.
Well, I told you I loved Cash.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. But, racist me, I'm just like, yeah, but he's brown.
No.
Right?
Yeah, but he's American through and through.
Because it's funny, you say, with all these DEI initiatives and the racism and all the stuff the left's been pushing for 10 years now, you said a couple of years ago, you're like, they're making us racist, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting now,
Now you're racist.
Now I'm a racist, right? So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's why I have a problem with that term. Because it's inaccurate. Because I don't hate anybody because of their
the color
race.
of their skin, right?
If I hate you, your behavior did that.
Right.
And that's why. So, yeah. No, I have a lot of brown people I love. And they're awesome.
Can I swaddle you in colored sheets, put you on a camel, and make you look like an enemy? That's kind of my criteria now.
Well, see, that's a tough call too, though. That's a tough call too. Because here's the thing, and I say this often, and those are the people that are going on there saying that, we're kowtowing Israel, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And this is why I say you can't please all the people, because they have it in their heads that things are a certain way and it's the way they think and it can't be any other way.
Yeah.
America and the U.S. government are two different things. They're completely two different things.
100%, yeah.
The U.S. government deep state of the last many decades did all this, created the terrorists, displaced the Muslims, did all of the stuff that makes them hate us in the first place.
Yeah.
They also turned around and trained them to kill us. They did the same. They did both. So we, the American people, are just putting a stop to it now. That's what we're doing. So stop confusing us with them. The difference between us and the government is we wouldn't, make up all the baloney. We'll just make you whole. And that's it. Yeah, we wouldn't mess around with all the rest of the crap like they do.
Right.
So that's why I say often on there, be grateful this is Trump's administration, because we were the alternative and it wasn't going to end up so well.
Yeah.
But Europe needs to do this. Europe needs to take a cue and do this.
Yeah, and from everything I've been observing, that none of them seem to have the will or the gas. They don't have that.
Again, it's that conditioning that they have that we don't have.
Yeah.
We're a revolutionary people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are.
Right.
And we pride ourselves on being sovereign above everything. And they do not have that. There are other things that are more important to them than that, which I don't get, but okay. Okay.
Crumpets and tea.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Long live
Stiff
the
upper
king.
lip and all that.
Yeah. All right, well, moving on today. Let's get to the next one. It is from Clandestine. Holy shit, Trump is offering a buyout to the entire CIA workforce.
Yes.
The USAID was just the beginning. First, Trump cut off the money supply. Now he's going for the nucleus of the cell. The CIA is about to get purged.
Yes.
Fox News alert. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the CIA has reportedly just offered a buyout to its entire workforce. Everyone in the agencies telling employees late today they can quit their jobs and receive about 8 months of pay and benefits. It's a part of Trump's push to downsize the federal government. More as we get it. Fox News alert. The Wall Street
That's
Journal.
pretty awesome, because they're all bad guys.
Well, and there has been more in now. Both Fox and NBC News I've been monitoring over the lunch hour here, and the legal advisors for both networks are urging CIA employees not to take any deal.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting. Why not, I wonder?
Well, I'm assuming they're going to sue for wrongful dismissal and a whole plethora of other
They can't
crap.
sue for wrongful dismissal. Every single agency that operates under the executive branch serves at the pleasure of the president. They can't. And when it comes to treason and atrocity, crimes against humanity, and, cooing foreign nations, I don't think they really have a leg to stand on. And this is important, though. This is important. That ties in with everything else we've been talking about today.
Right.
Because Mossad is the CIA is Mossad. And it's very critical. And if we remove Mossad's ability to operate in a Western capacity, because they go through us for everything, then that's a huge blow to the originators and the cabal as a whole.
It is. Did you see the latest push now? Just wanted to touch on this for a second because I think it might apply. They're talking about Elon Musk. It's a big thing about Elon Musk now. And that, now that he's with Doge and Trump, he's been given, Q17 level clearance, blah, blah, blah. And he knows everything and blah, blah, blah. They're all freaking out about his security clearance, which is interesting because what most people don't know is that during getting Starlink going, he actually had to do a deal with I'm going to say it. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
The Biden administration.
Oh.
He had to do a deal with the Biden administration, particularly where it mattered to the DOD and the Pentagon. And in order for him to successfully launch his Starlink program and begin to do everything he's doing with the Starlink systems, he had to essentially get approval. Now, one of the elements in the deal for approval was that the military would have access to Starlink satellite technology. So he gave him access to the technology. They gave him access to the world, okay? It was at that point in 2022 when he was already granted the highest security level in the land, because you can't do that without doing that.
Right.
So they don't even have a leg to stand on there either, right? So it's interesting, though, because when you look, he dismantle the DEA, dismantle the IRS, dismantle, Chuck Schumer says they're going to do away with the mailman. They're coming in and dismantling all this stuff and tearing it all down and rebuilding anew, just like he did in New York City with the ice rink. He got it done, right?
Yeah.
So he's again no different than 30 years ago. He sees the problem, he goes in, he fixes it, and he fixes it right the first time. He doesn't cut corners, doesn't try to save money, right? So literally, that's why we're seeing, I think, at every turn with all this amazingness that's happening in America right now. I think this is why we're realizing that at every corner, those things have been considered, and you're SOL. You just are. You're not going to win against this. It's been long planned. It's right.
Yes.
Like, does that? Because that's what it seems like to me. I just want to, Yeah. Right. So dismantling the CIA now. Now this is huge in so many ways you can't even fathom. Or well, I know you can, but
well, it's necessary, because if there was any other agency that you didn't know who you could trust in, it's that one.
Yeah.
I mean, even worser than the FBI, but the FBI is the same. And yes, I know worser's not a word. Don't come at me, bro. Yeah. So
that gets a drum.
They're both the same.
Yeah.
They're the same. FBI is, ironically, the FBI is supposed to handle domestic stuff and go after and bring back Interpol people, but they do a lot more than that they shouldn't be doing.
No kidding.
And, yeah. They do all the domestic terrorism here.
Well, and this is the thing now, we've seen Elon Musk, he buys out Twitter, takes it over, changes it to X, rebrands it, come out with the X-Files there with Mario Nawfal and the boys. They start spilling all the beans on exactly, who is responsible all through the history of that company for censorship and all this other stuff. And he's the new champion for free speech and everything else. And they're freaking out because they're realizing not only does he have top secret clearance with the Trump team, but he's had it for a couple of years now. They got to be flipping their minds about like literally everything. Like it's funny, Kash Patel, talking about Hillary today.
Yeah.
Like we haven't forgotten. None of this stuff
I
we've
told
forgotten.
you nobody's going to forget. You went off of some shows ago about, well, what about sex trafficking? What about this? What about the Epstein list? I said it's on the docket. Don't worry. It's
Right.
coming. It's just, there's so much.
Well, and Trump talking about declassifying the UFO files and the Area 51 stuff.
That'll be sweet, too.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I think there's more important things like, the Bundy Ranch.
Well, it depends.
Waco.
Those are old news, though. They're super old news, and everybody already knows those things that you so much like to say, well, everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about that.
Don't they?
Everybody knows about that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, everybody knows about those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What they don't know is that their own government, 90% of their own government, has been working to actively kill them for the last 4 decades at least.
Wow. Yeah.
And the irony, you've got videos now of Democrats screaming at Democrats and saying, you hate Elon, you're shooting the messenger. He's trying to tell you that your government has been stealing your money and giving you nothing in return for it. And you want to shoot the messenger. Because that's how brainwashed and conditioned and tarded they are.
Well, they and me. I've said those things before.
Well, not about Doge and not about the stuff that's coming out.
Well, no.
Right. Because, it's just common sense.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want to know you're being ripped off? But what is it like I always say? You tell somebody their spouse is cheating on them, and they're going to deny it until they see it with their own eyes.
Well, the interesting thing that I've kind of observed over my whatever years is that this system of the government give you nothing, and then you bitch and moan and complain and have protests and rattle at the gates and do all the stuff that we've seen. And even so much as forming legal coalitions to take the government to court all the time over all this. Like it's almost like they've trained us just to get into this perpetual situation where, well, we're going to do everything we can to stop it, but you can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it's like we busy ourselves so much with all this, Well, it's like the attitude, the cynical attitude that you get kind of, I guess, at middle age when you see all this stuff and you've been on the planet for 3 or 4 or 5 decades, and you're realizing that it is quite obviously a system, and it's a system where you always lose, and just shut up and go back to work and keep paying the system, right?
Right.
And yes, bitch and moan and all this other stuff, but nobody ever does anything about it. You think, oh, well, we're going to take the government to court on this issue, but it's redundant. The judges are all owned, right? The whole system has been set up specifically for you to bang your head against a wall indefinitely.
Right.
While all the while thinking that, well, I'm just going to go down to my polling station and cast my vote and we'll get out of this mess. And it never happens. Right or left never happens.
Well, that's because it's not been right or left. It's been a uni party.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah.
And that's why it was critical for the people to wrest power from them. And we have.
Yeah. Yes, we have. Well, does anybody have any comments, questions?
Comments, questions? I still have a few minutes, actually.
Candy bars, ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good thing, and I hope they all take it. And do we need an intelligence agency? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like we don't, obviously. There's always going to be bad guys, even if it's just cartels or criminal organizations or whatever abroad. We need that. Mm-hmm. But again, just cleaning house and CIA is not going to be enough because Europe has to do it too.
Yeah, and speaking of cartels for a second too, what do you think the life expectancy of the drug cartels are now that they've been
very, very low
Very-
and quick. And yeah, I think that's going to get resolved really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So Trump sent a message to them a couple days ago when he released the video of the bombing of the ISIS dude.
Right.
There's no way we wouldn't consider doing that in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I think Scheinbaum knows it. You know.
Yeah, she's been uniquely quiet.
Well, she was very vocal until Trump, said what for, and this is how it's going to be. And then both her and Canada caved in a day. So,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I didn't think Canada had a whole day in it. I thought about 3 or 4 hours you'd be back on the phone
right.
sniveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably conferring with Scheinbaum, which was such a bad move by them, too, putting her as the president of Mexico.
Wow. Yeah.
Mexico, Latin men are very traditional and macho. What were they thinking? A Jewish woman to run the country. What? So unless, the cabal got permission from the cartels, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't even make any reasonable sense to me.
It doesn't. That was the shock of the year for me last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what? I didn't even know she was in contention. I knew they had killed how many other candidates, though.
Right.
So that's why it's not like she's some big and brave and, whatever.
No.
In defiance. No, it was clear. Yeah, she was selected.
She's not a Vita Perón.
Right, exactly.
Right. Interesting. And what are you thinking of all these other countries now, following suit, breaking away from the WHO and the UN?
Oh, Argentina did today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. El Salvador, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is exactly how it was always supposed to go.
It's like the Trump thing is
The Trump effect. We should
the
keep
Trump effect.
We
yeah.
should keep a running, tally of the countries.
Yeah.
And take bets on when they're going to flip and do the
Okay.
right thing. Because,
Yeah.
we'll have one of those countdown clocks. The number of countries that have been hit by the Trump effect are now doing the right thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be pretty awesome.
Well, and yesterday, too, I mentioned about the immigration website there and talking about how many people were arrested today and how many people were lodged. And I remember voicing my disdain about the lodged thing.
Right.
And just to visit that for a minute, looking at that and then looking at even the developments of today, I really got to catch myself and say, well, you don't really know what lodged means.
Right.
You don't know where lodged means. And
Or if at all. I mean, they got to say something.
well, this is the other thing, too. How much is for public consumption?
Exactly. What do I
Right.
always say? You have to keep that in mind, too.
Mhm.
That just because it's on a screen doesn't mean it's the truth.
Yeah.
Even from our side. Because whatever our side tells us, they're telling the enemy, too.
Right.
Duh. Yeah. So, yeah, you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and
100%.
Mexico's already deployed forces to the border under the tariff agreement. So,
Interesting.
yeah. Canada did yesterday.
I saw that, but
Well, they have to. Or Trump will just
well,
go in there
sure,
and hellfire them.
You might get a couple of dudes up there with some hockey sticks, but they don't have. I think
It's the effort that counts. We're gonna give them some good grades for effort.
okay.
We're not expecting much. It's okay.
Well, and you can't.
Right.
It's
just the bending of the knee part that's important.
true.
Yeah.
True.
And that's it. We should have a bend the knee countdown. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
The bend the knee off.
Yes. Oh, yeah. How many countries in the world?
193.
Okay, cool. I'll settle for.
Pardon me. 192.
All right, I'll settle for 190.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind now, there's a bunch of countries that aren't westernized nations. I think there's only 36 of those.
I'm just not expecting
Do you
China
think Somalia is going to be lining up? Oh, President Trump.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Do you?
Especially after what we're about to do to Ilan. Absolutely.
Okay.
I only don't expect Russia or China to.
Well, I wouldn't expect them to.
There's got to be a gold, a silver, and a bronze. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's cool.
Oh, this is a whole new kind of Special Olympics.
Yeah. The specialist.
All right. Well, that's the big words today.
Yes.
We are running out of time. We got 2 minutes left. We got the old FAFO today.
And it's 3.5 minutes, I think.
Oh, good.
Yes,
good.
it's an automobile special today.
An automotive free-for-all.
Thank you. Yes, that's what it is.
It's an automotive frapstravaganza.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you for spending lunchtime with me yet again. I really appreciate it. Thank you for getting me to 50,000 followers. Let's keep it going. I'm trying to follow people back as I can, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Because I have to vet everybody. I don't want to follow back, the enemy or tards or anything, or bots or anything. They'll make me look bad.
Right.
So, but have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. It's almost Friday. I love you more than catnip.
It's all downhill from here.
That's
There
right.
we go.
Some idiots will do anything to get home 1 minute faster. More than likely, they'll end up at a stoplight and then they'll be at square one. But this idiot decides to take it to another level, brake checks this guy behind him, then takes off. Apparently now feeling challenged, he ends up freaking crashing and wrapping himself around a freaking pole.
Get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way, move it.
You know, some people just want to see the world burn like this soy boy right here who probably has a problem with bikes. Riding a scooter, probably racist, has issues with bikes when the bikes never did anything to him in the first place, tips the bikes like a domino and it heads out. We're going to look at another angle here. I think we're going to zoom in a bit here. And booyah, karma surfed instantly. My God, bike lives matter. And apparently scooter lives don't. You can see this guy all hyped up like a spider monkey on White Claw. Probably injected it in his veins once again. What we all know when you play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes like this. Booyah! You'll end up going viral for all the wrong reasons and get a free starring cameo on the Ludicrous Cam replay.
Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way, move.
Well, it's Kyle road raging again, all jacked up on Mountain Dew like a spider monkey, and booyah! Karma is served instantly like a cup of noodles. Let's take a quick look at the replay. You can see right here, Kyle is just road raging, yelling all kinds of obscenities. The beautiful part is the airbag deploys as well, and man, he just gets served up a mouthful of steering wheel. Let's take a zoom in, closer look. One more time. Boom! Good night. Some people just want to get home from work in one piece just so they can have some turkey pot pie waiting for them when they get there. But leave it to assholes brake checking and then getting a concussion from the repercussion of them brake checking the people behind them. Thanks to this jackass who decided to crawl out of the basement and give everybody else a shitty day, and now nobody gets to go home and eat turkey pot pie.
Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way, move.
Well, not sure if this is a 5.0. There's no rag top down, so his hair can blow. It appears his girl is on the standby, waiting just to say hi. Did he stop? No, he just rolled by. And my God, it is all over. Say goodbye to the Mustang. From show off to jerk off, people just continue to roll by while witnessing this catastrophe. Look, we get it. You want to hit the gas before you get on the freeway, but if you can't handle the acceleration, then maybe you should take the local streets home. My God, what a huge embarrassment. Almost as embarrassing as the 59.9% APR Darren's paying on this Mustang.
Live my 5.0, put my rag top down so my hair can blow. The girl is on standby, waiting just to say hi.
Did you stop?
No, I just drove by.